Recently, I told the viewers of this channel that I was going to make a walking stick using my Victorinox Swiss Champ, and I'm hoping that in this video, I'll be able to deliver the goods. Greetings and welcome back to the channel, and welcome if it's your first time here. My name is Johnny, and this is the Victorinox Swiss Champ. It's my everyday carry. I did promise the viewers of this channel I was going to make a walking stick using this, and that's exactly what I did in this video. These tools are down here to demonstrate that these tools may be more comfortable if you were to actually make walking sticks in volume, if you were to do a lot of them. But I think this is going to work just fine for the walking stick that I'm going to make for you today. So follow me along as I do a voiceover on this video. Voiceover, check, 1, 2. Okay, so in a previous video, I talked about aspen being my personal favorite. You're looking at 3 there. I just showed you 1, and there's 2. These are coming from my backyard, my first choice in harvesting, I guess. And there's a 4th guy back here as well. So I'm going to try taking something from my backyard, maybe 1 or 2. These grow wild in my backyard, so I don't have a problem with them. They always come back. And here is the star in action, or the star about in action. We may as well start off with the saw because, you know, we're going to have to harvest one of these trees. So it's always worked for me very well. And here we are getting down and dirty. There's an ant in there. I hope he wasn't hurt in any way, shape, or form. Works really well. I was going to put the harmonica or the harmona saw in there, but anyways, we've got the aspen laying down here. And of course, we're going to have to take off some of these limbs. I like to use the saw to use for taking these limbs as well. Yeah, so go back to my essentials gear if you want my philosophy of use on the walking stick. And so yeah, we're going to just keep doing this voiceover here. I'm not a big fan of doing these voiceovers because I can stray. I could talk. Oh, there was the fish scaler. So the fish scaler, sorry about that straying. The fish scaler I use as a ruler. So I did mention in the essentials gear that there's many ways to size up your walking stick. And I've already determined that. And the fish scaler came in very handy because I want 1 inch in diameter at the very bottom of the walking stick. And we've got a little friend here, little caterpillar, and he's going to play a very important part in this video. You'll see very soon, but he was not harmed in any way, shape, or form. He just kind of went on his merry way there. So yeah, the fish scaler for a ruler. Here's the real star of this video is the little pen blade. And this is me just stripping off the green bark. There's actually 2 steps here. You strip off the green bark, and there's a light green. You can sort of see it there. And I'm going to let the stick dry for about 2 weeks after I strip it. So there'll be some time lapse, not time lapse, but you know what I mean. Anyways, it's really sticky, very wet, and it's coming off really well. No problems. Nothing really to be careful. Well, lots to be careful about when it comes to cutting yourself, but nothing to be concerned about when it comes to the stick. If you make a little mistake here and there, it's not really going to matter that much. So just getting all that green stuff off. And again, I'm starting to wander. I could start talking about all kinds of different things right now. I really want to, but I'm afraid sometimes that it might not be the right thing to say, I guess. So I'll just stick with the stick. Just, you know what I mean? So I'll stick with the stick. So we got the bark coming off here pretty good. Again, not rocket science. I like that little fast move, how it paused there. That was interesting. Kind of naughty, a little bit of naughty here. So yeah, okay. So, oh yeah, there's the pen blade and the grip. I wanted to demonstrate that. Yeah, the corkscrew, it really was biting into my hand. That little lanyard there was actually kind of helpful and straightening the stick. So it's soaking wet right now. And I could actually work on the stick quite a bit and get it looking pretty good. I could straighten it out even more if I wanted to. 2 weeks later, or whatever that voice is. So now we've sped it up a little bit. The stick is dry, and I got to pull out the pen. We're going to use the pen now. It's my penmanship You can see it's okay there, and back to the saw. So now we're cutting it to length. We're cutting it to the actual length. That first one that I did was close. This is more accurate. And you can see I'm rotating it here because I don't want it to splinter. So just kind of gently going around there, and I didn't put in, I should put some harmonica on top of this, but well, maybe I will later. I don't know. We'll see. And we got a good cut. Did it cut? Yes, cut. All right. Hurry. Yeah. Oh, and E, ooh, yeah. Finally. Oh, these voiceovers are a little bit of work at my end. Okay, so anyways, here we keep going. Let's keep cleaning it up a little bit. I needed to get that little sound in there. So the pen blade is out, just taking more of the knots down. And I'm going to actually take off another layer of wood here to get rid of that. It's kind of like a yellow color. Anyways, there's the pen in action again. And it really works good for marking on that dried up aspen. No problem. Okay, here I'm demonstrating some plunge cuts. You see I'm kind of on the saber grip. Now I've got the index finger grip going on. And now the thumb grip. I was just trying to find something that was comfortable, but back to the hammer grip, I was changing a lot over and over again because I'll be honest with you, it was starting to hurt in my hand there. And yeah, I could have wore gloves and stuff, but I really wanted to demonstrate this kind of in the raw type of thing. Makes really nice little cuts. With that pen blade is really good. Works really well. And you'll see what I'm making here. I'm inspired by that Caterpillar, and that's the Caterpillar grip, the JJ Caterpillar grip. It looks kind of like a bunch of beads. I might expand on that. You can see that it's starting to get nice and straight, and it's getting harder too. So it's getting a lot stiffer. And here's a little method I accidentally stumbled upon. I'm pulling as I'm pulling off that second layer. And I've got the knife wedged against the stick there. And yeah, you might have to go play that back and watch that again. Anyways, there are these Caterpillar beads. There's 9 of them there if you haven't noticed that already. The champ down there, nice little stick. So now we got to think about the ferrule. And there's the ferrule there. I picked up a couple of them. These are stainless steel. I picked these up at Lee Valley. You can get them on Lee Valley on their website. Just go Lee Valley and you'll find them. Anyways, so I was looking at this. Oh yeah, back to that scaler. So it confirmed that it's a 1-inch diameter, and my stick is indeed 1 inch at the thickest point, but you can see it tapers, and I believe it's 1 inch deep. So I used it as a depth gauge as well. Back to the pen, a depth gauge fish scaler, and the pen is just kind of marking out the end. So now it's just a little bit of trial and error, and I'm just trying to get it to fit. So a little bit goes a long way, not big chunks. I'm taking my time. As a matter of fact, I used the file as well at the very end to get it even more dialed in. I didn't film that part for some reason, but this is where it's essential to get a nice fit. If it's a little bit, tiny little bit loose, it's not the end of the world because I'm going to epoxy this thing and screw it with a longer screw later. But I just put it together just to show you what it looks like. So what I'm going to end up doing here is epoxying that thing in place, drilling a hole, and then epoxying in the hole as well. And that thing is going to be forever. It's not going anywhere. Then I'm going to lacquer the walking stick. But the other thing I didn't mention in my philosophy thing, but it's really part of the making of the walking stick is walk with it now. I'm going to start walking. I'm going to use it. I'm going to start noticing the subtleties of the stick. I may need to add more of those Caterpillar balls somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like going downhill, going uphill. I might find a couple more spots for those. And same with the length. I think the length is going to be fine because I really don't think the length is going to be a problem. But grip. So you're going to find a natural grip. It's going to want to go a certain way when you're using it. So before I do the lacquer, I'm going to just walk around a little bit more and find some more things. If I want to take some more wood out, I will. and then epoxy, and then many coats of lacquer. And you're looking at this going, why doesn't he take the lanyard off? Well, because I'm stubborn and I'm stupid, and just the way it is. And that's the finished product there. It's really nice. These things last forever. My other walking stick, it's all dulled down, and there it is, the final, semi-final product. I think those caterpillar beads turned out pretty nice. And that's pretty much it, right next to the fire pit, ready to go for a walk. Well, I hope you enjoyed that little walking stick video. This guy here really does hold a very good edge. I have not touched it. I've cleaned it. You can see a little bit of that sap on there still, but very good. Everything worked out really well on this thing. I have never had any problems with the Swiss Champs. So anyways, there's the walking stick. How does the 9 turn into a 6? Anyways, we'll see you again another day.